or you won't live to die.
So this week we're going to the Mountain Rose mine. It's a pretty cool mine, and we just found it by accident. It's a pretty busy week. We've got our ranch and stuff, and so we're cutting hay. So we'll just whip up to the ammo mine up there and the Del Orno, and we just do a quick little pass with the plane, show where the mine was, which is kind of interesting to see it from the air. And so we headed up there in the morning, and all of a sudden I seen this great big huge hole right on the side of the highway. I said, what the heck is this? I've never seen this before. So it's right between Emma and BC Copper, just right on the highway. And once you start looking at it, I've driven by it, I don't know how many freaking times. You just look up the hill, just get to the 4 lane when you're going up to E-Holt there, you look on the hill on your left side and you'll see the tipples there, and it's actually a pretty big mine. So there's a great big huge mined area, a big hole, you'll see it from the air, and it looked like there was adits coming from both sides of it, but the shadows didn't go very far, just a little ways. But then looked around quite a bit more, found another mine, another little small mine, and then we found a tunnel right at the very bottom, just about right on the highway. And it's kind of interesting because most mines you can see them from the air because there's a huge pile of waste rock, because if you have a tunnel going a long ways into the mountain, there's a lot of waste rock. In this case there wasn't, but the reason was basically it was built right on the highway. So when you're driving along the highway up there, the waste rock from that mine, it was used to build the highway. So there's no waste rock there. So really fascinating. It's right on the side of the road. Join us, you'll probably enjoy it. Well, this morning we're taking off from the airport here, and we're going to just whip up to the Del Orno mine and take some pictures of the mine here. So this is a little GoPro here that we have set up, and we'll take some pretty good pictures of the mine. So quickly, this is just a 2002 Ecolot. Purchased it recently, and it's these little planes, these little ultralights, Polish made ultralight. They're pretty cool for going up to mines and stuff and checking stuff out. So it flies about 95 miles an hour. It can slow it right down to about 20 miles an hour in the stall configuration, and we'll take off up to the mine. We're just coming up on Wilgris Lake there. Wilgris Lake is right in the right there, and we're just coming up across the highway. We're on the 4 lane there, so towards the left in the center there you'll see there's kind of a patch of ground there behind the truck there, and now we're just coming up into that great big huge stope, and that's where the video is going to be. We're going to poke in there and blow there. Interesting location here. We're on the highway just before Wilgris Lake, and this you can see this loadout chute right from the highway. I'd never noticed it, but when I flew over it we saw a big mine here, so we decided to take a little walk up here and see what's up here. So there's a huge adit in here, and we'll see what we can find. So here's this little tipple here. I think this looks like a loadout facility to me. So there's a little road here, and I'm thinking that there was a tramway. Of course I see tramways everywhere, but this actually might have been one. So the ore didn't go past here. This is far down as we saw the ore. So I don't know, I have no idea how this worked, but as we look across the valley here, I would think there's maybe some way, because the railway is just right below us there. So yeah, pretty interesting site there, pretty large stope in here. I wonder what the purpose of this plastic fence is. I mean, I guess it's probably adhering to some regulation or something, but certainly not going to keep anyone or anything out of here. If anything, maybe it could trip some wildlife up into falling into there if they get caught in it. So we're going to have a little peek and see if we can have a little look down there, but I'm thinking I'm going to have to go back and get my ladder. It looks like a pretty good drop down to that big area, the stope here that they mined out of here. So it looks like we're maybe a little bit tricked here by the shadows. It looked to us when we were flying over this morning that there was an adit here, but it looks like this is just a big open stope here.
Pretty interesting nevertheless. It's a little steep to get down in here. And we're seeing some interesting looking sulfides up above us here. So, pretty interesting looking formations here. Looks like they just didn't do any tunneling in here, that they just went in here and worked all this material out of here and probably had a tramway and loaded onto a train, the tracks below. But so it was a pretty easy place for them to mine. I don't know what this mine would have been called. There's one called the Mountain Rose, a mine called the Mountain Rose, that might have been it. And there's a little Max there waiting for me. He doesn't want to climb down there. I thought I was going to have to get a ladder, but it didn't look too bad. I just grabbed the rope and went down, so hopefully they'll be able to get it back up again. There's a bone, I guess, probably from a deer, I guess. And there's a rat's nest, can you believe it? Those guys must be just awesome climbers. I don't know how the heck would a rat ever get down here. You know, it's pretty much a sheer cliff face, eh? Them guys must be just awesome climbers. Maybe they have a little rope somewhere. Yeah, it's a pretty steep face, that's for sure. Of course, I got small feet. Interesting colors of rocks and stuff in here. Lots of sulfides. Maybe that's a little gold, eh? No, probably not. Almost always pyrite. So if it's gold and shiny, it's usually not gold. Oh, there's the rest of that deer. Huh. So I guess that fence never kept him out, eh? I wonder how the heck he would have got in here. Somebody's trophy buck. There you go, that was from last year, I guess. He doesn't look that old. Managed to fall in here. That's the second buck that I found in the bottom of a chasm. They couldn't get out. Interesting. Smart as you think they are. But I don't know what possessed them to jump into here. Oh, cool. Look, we got some railway tracks. We may haven't had it here yet. Oh, wouldn't that be neat? Wow. Huh. We got an adit. Or portal, I guess. We'll hop up there and see how far it goes. So here's the view from that portal. Unfortunately, the view is nicer looking out of the portal than it is into the portal. So what happened was they just dug a little hole in here. And where that tipple is, or loadout facilities on the other side, this just would have went right through to there. So this is just a little railway they put in to actually get this material out of here without having to lift it all up those walls. So it's just a short little tunnel. Caved in now, but it's just a short little tunnel they built to get through here. And that's probably how the rats have been getting through here. There's probably just enough room for them to squeeze through the rock there to the other side where the portal was, or where that tipple was. So nothing to see here, but kind of a cool little walk into here anyhow. So right beside the highway, you can hear the cars from here. That's the other side of this stoped out area here. So I guess that should be a lesson to me there. If you're flying over the plane, you see a big dark hole. Maybe fly over it another time of day and see if that big hole's still there, because I think that's all that's happening is the shadows. You know, it's dark in there, the sun's from behind you, so the shadow makes a big black hole. So probably if I would have went over in the afternoon, I wouldn't have seen that big black hole. This little miner's saying, it said the best place to look for gold is in the shadow of an adit. So following that pearl of advice, we just kind of continued along the highway, and lo and behold, we've got a shaft here. So We're gonna have a poke down there and see if we can see anything down there. Here's a view from the top of the Mountain Rose mine, or one of the Mountain Rose mines. So I'm just gonna climb down there and we'll see what we can see down there. So we managed to hop down here, and yeah, not too extensive, you know, as you would expect, you know, since there's no waste rock pile or anything like that. There, you know, couldn't be too much tunneling in here, but yeah, you know, typical of the time, I guess. You know, the miners, they just they're in the mountains and they find these little pockets, and they just got in here and mined them out. Rich little pockets of copper. Probably maybe took it out with a pack horse or something. Here I climbed down there, and I wondered, come on, gonna get out again? Ah, should be okay. And then you get down here and find out, hey, there's a much easier way of getting out. Yeah, interesting little mines in here. I think this is what's called the Mountain Rose. From the maps that I see, nothing really written about it. But the claim said it's called the Mountain Rose. So obviously not a big commercial success, but a little pocket of copper, I guess, in here, gold or whatever was in here. Yeah. They blasted this out of here. Have a little mine here. One thing that's great about this is just right above the railway tracks, so it's really easy for them to ship this ore out. This is a trail where the Mountain Rose mine was there, and you can see there's remains of kind of a little bit of a loadout thing here, I guess. You know, I don't know how this would have worked. Maybe, I don't know if they would have had a horse in the cart or something. I'm not really sure. You know, it doesn't look like this was big enough for a truck to get in here. Pretty small little trail. It's a narrow area, so you know, I don't know if they would have had to build anything to load pack horses. I suppose it would have been easier if you just pulled a horse right up to the side of it, and you know, you had a couple 100 pounds of rock or something, and you could just kind of maybe had something built where you could just winch it right down on them. I'm only guessing, but it definitely, there's no kind of a truck that came in here, or a wagon or anything like that. It's a pretty narrow road. It's only about, I don't know, about maybe 6 feet wide at the very most. This is the highway just a little bit south of Wilgris Lake here, and we're at the last adit. Now, you know, my old rule, if there can't be much of a mine if there's no waste rock pile, but the thing is here, we're right against the highway, so it could have been that there was actually a pile of waste rock here, and when the highway was built, then the waste rock was removed, or could have used the waste rock or something else. But anyway, so this is right in line with the other two, well, no, with that big stope just up on top of the hill there. So you know, as the old rule goes, that these things usually just go in a big line. The vein just continued right up there. So maybe actually the bottom part going across the highway going the other ways would be where the BC mines were. I'm not really sure. Could have been a continuation of the same area here. So we're gonna go down there and have a look here. I don't expect anything too major here, but hey, you never know, you know. Dog's happy, found a little water anyways. He's usually happier about finding water than I am. Cool on there, buddy. Oh, she goes in. Definitely goes in a ways. Oh, let's have a look. Yeah, that's a good sign. I'm not gonna worry about my boots. Oh, I already got a little bit of the soaker, so. Then we can quit worrying about our boots once they get wet. Once your feet are wet, you don't got to worry about wet feet. So. Oh, this is pretty neat. Didn't think we were going to find much because that big open stoked area at the top there, but you know, this follows the the general rule that normally, you know, you get a sloped area on the top and then, okay, well, forget about her feet now. Let's just walk in the middle. I don't know how Max is liking this. Enjoying the cool, at least. Pretty warm day today. Looks like the rats had a little brunch here. Interesting rock. Quite red. Yeah, it should be drying up for us here. I don't expect this to go very far in here because that big stoked out area is above it. And I don't think there was a ore pushed down from the stoked up area down into here. Here we're getting some really real red kind of material in here. Maybe an indication of copper, I don't know. This was obviously flooded at one time, maybe. No, we might be getting to the end here. So it's obviously pretty level going back here because the water's about the same depth. I've never seen boards like this on a mine before. I'm not sure why there's boards in the ground here. Huh. Oh, well, there we go. Oh, interesting. So looks like there was a raise going up to that. You wouldn't see it from the top, but obviously that big sloped up area there did have a raise going up, coming down here. So, you know, this theory about this tram was wrong. Obviously the ore from that sloped out area came down here, and it just happens to be plugged now. So I don't know if there's any point in. Oh, I gotta have to stick my nose in now. We know it goes into that big stoped out area up there, but it's not a huge distance up that hill, but it's a fair ways. I'm glad we're not having to wade through this 4 feet of water, because you can see from the level, looks like it kind of stained the walls here. The dog's pretty interested in something. Maybe smells those rats, so that's where the rats definitely got in here. It's kind of a little interesting because you didn't see any from the top. I thought they just all mined it out of the open stope, but they didn't. So it's just literally a stone's throw away from the highway. And I bet you very few people know that this is here. Interesting little area of stope in here. So this tunnel just has one raise that goes in here, and that's it to clean that stope out. So, you know, I don't think there's going to be nothing too fancy in here. You know, pretty fair sized stoped area on the top. So yeah, basically it just went straight up here. I don't know if there's any point in really going up here. I don't expect there to be a crosscut or anything. How stable is that rock? I think it just basically comes right down from the top level. I don't think there's a crosscut in there. I don't think I want to fool around with this too much here, because this is a really steep slope here. And I don't want to be underneath it if it falls. I really don't think there's any crosscut levels, even though there could be. Well, chances are it just goes straight up to that big stoped out area at the top. So I don't think we'll push our luck, and we'll just make our way back down rather than risk dislodging that great big boulder up there, which looks, it's kind of doesn't seem that solid in there. So then, yeah, this would have went just right across to the railway, would have just loaded right, probably would have had a chute right to the railway. and would have loaded it right up there. So, yeah, pretty neat mine. Not a huge one. You can see the outside there. Here's the outside of that mine, so it's not a long ways in here. Just far enough in to service that big stope there. So, I'm glad it's nice and the water's fairly low, because obviously it was a lot higher at different times. I would think that is a water stain. Maybe in the wintertime what happened was all the snow maybe plugged up at the end and made a dam here. And then when it thawed out, it just, maybe that happens every year. Maybe it floods every year and then just drains itself out. So that's all I'll have to show you at the Mountain Rose mine.